Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our May PTA meeting. I'm glad you all are here. Today is the first day that you can apply for after school program. Only if your application is submitted and all documents have been submitted along with your application. Today is the first day for aftercare and they fill out fast. Tomorrow. Today's the 21st or tomorrow's 20th? Pardon me, I'm having another elder moment. Right, I had a whole PTA meeting last week right here and it was the wrong name, okay? Tomorrow, the 21st at noon. You can lead the rest of the you can, pardon me, Eliza's gonna lead the rest of the meeting.
Start. All right, Becca, would you come do the officer nominations and then you can leave? And then I don't know if you'll be back.
All right, everybody, I'm Becca Singby. I am here to announce the PTA PTA nomination results, which I have had the honor of chairing. So as was discussed at the last meeting, we have nominations open for vice president and secretary. Geez, sorry. For vice president and secretary. We did not have any additional nominees for those positions other than the people who are currently in those positions. They're doing such a good job. Everybody would like them to stay. So the only nominee for vice president was Eliza and the only nominee for secretary was Liz Langdon. Per the bylaws, however, we do need to open the floor for any nominations that occur at this meeting. So I will pause for a second in case anybody would like to nominate anyone else. Going once. Okay, in that case, then no election is needed because there's only one nominee for each position. So Eliza will continue as the vice president and Liz will continue as the secretary. Thank you. Thank you. One note. Okay. So Eliza may have a fun adventure happening the second half of next year. So that will leave a vacancy for vice president for the second half of the year. So Eliza has agreed, thankfully, thank you, Eliza, to continue serving as vice president. If anybody thinks they might have that in their future, they want to try it out, or somebody else might want to do it, and you want to like shadow her for the beginning of the year and take over for the second half of the year, that will be an option. So nobody's desirable option, please. So there will be, to wrap up, there will be no election for PTA this year. Eliza will continue as the vice president. Liz will continue as the secretary. And then, as we stated last meeting, we're not running elections this year for president. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Becca, our chair of our nominating committee. And thank you to those of you that served on the nominating committee. Although with a very small number of nominations, you didn't have too much to do, but thank you nonetheless for agreeing and volunteering. Ms. Sanders may or may not come back in the president's absence. I guess as the vice president, I will continue to run the meeting, but hopefully she comes back because we have a number of other items for her. I'm going to skip the events because she does have by far the most expertise on the events that are happening. And we'll come back to those. So next is to turn it over to Tiffany to talk about the treasurer position. And you could use this time for a treasurer report as well if you'd like, or you could do that later.
Hey everyone, I'm Tiffany Reed. I'm your treasurer, and I also have an announcement to make. I'm gonna get emotional because I love this community, but my child is going on to middle school next year. He got into a different school and we have to leave Barnard a year early. And I'm very sad. It's a happy thing, but I'm personally very sad because I love this community and I love my role here. But it doesn't feel right for me to have another year in this role when my child doesn't go to school here. And so for that, I must resign and not do a third year in this role as treasurer. And I'm very sorry and I have a lot of mixed emotions about it, as you know. I knew I was gonna cry, but I embraced my emotions. I need to make a call for someone to step in and take over for me as treasurer. My term runs until June 30th. I've told Siobhan and Eliza and Liz that I will stay on as long as I need to. And I'm, of course, would put everything into training a new person and make sure that there was a smooth transition. I can tell you a little bit about the role. I would say the next person would probably spend about maybe 5 hours per month in this role. What you're doing is you're receiving receipts from people like Siobhan and other staff members. Siobhan has a debit card and gives receipts to me, and then staff and teachers will provide receipts for reimbursement on different things. I do have a money minder platform that I use to track all of our expenses and apply receipts to that platform. It's super easy, pretty dummy proof. I love it. I also handle our easy file taxes, which is like literally 2 clicks on the IRS and like we're good. So it's super easy. I also have the checkbook. So I write checks as needed, which is pretty rare. And then my name is on the bank account, so I need someone to go to the bank with me and switch out our names. And also I monitor the bank account pretty frequently, so you just need to sign in and just monitor that. And I also make sure to try to send thank you notes to donors, and I monitor the Barnard Gmail account for anything that's treasurer related or donor related. So please contact me if you are interested in being a treasurer. I would love to work with you, and it's a great role. I think personally, I've been a treasurer in many different organizations, and I find it to be the best. So, you know, don't discount the treasurer, and it's really not that complicated for an organization this size. So thank you, and you guys are all awesome, and I love, love, love Barnard, and my son has thrived here since PK3. Okay, and so in terms of my treasurer report, we have $22,173.93 at the bank account. We've been spending a lot of money. Thank you. We have been spending a lot of money, most recently on things like the science fair. The PTA provided a lot of support on the science fair. We also had, of course, our big teacher appreciation week. So hopefully the teachers and staff felt some love from us. We had a taco bar. We did coffee and sweets. Courtney Edwards was the mastermind behind all of this. I should say thank you, Courtney. We need to put together these awesome flyers, all these graphics, just these fun names for everything. She put, as a bystander watching her create all this, she did a fantastic job. And we had coffee and sweets. She set up chair massages again this year, which the teachers liked. There was a pizza lunch. There was so much going on. So thank you to the PTA and to Courtney for being able to shower our staff with love during that week. Also, I should say we have a reminder that Dr. Reed has a little principals fund that she got a $10,000 grant. And so she dipped into that. So that's another reason why our bank account is lower. She spent $4,000 of her $10,000 grant. So I'll continue to monitor that. That's also something that the next treasurer will need to do. And then there's Professional Administrators Day lunch. There was an I Wonder Why posting.
It's the science fair.
Oh,
For ECE, for second grade.
Okay, there was a lot of science fair support from us. And then snacks for students in the classrooms. And then we hosted DCPS modernization team. Anything I'm missing?
That was yeah,
Yeah. You've been hosting a lot. Okay. And I think that's it. Any questions on the treasurer report? Okay, and then also want to mention the fundraising committee, because I also serve as the chair. And it sounds like the fundraising committee is gonna stay fairly intact, which is great news. And so I have some feelers out. I think we have a new chair, but if anybody wants to join the fundraising committee, if anybody wants to be the chair of the fundraising committee, please step forward. But it sounds like the fundraising committee, as it currently stands, for next year will be intact. So thank you, incredible humans in the fundraising committee. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tiffany. Wow, okay.
I'm gonna stop crying.
I mean, we're gonna miss you in lots of ways. One thing I will say about being on the officers team is that we've really made a team. It's been 2 years now that three of us have been together, and with Liz for this year. Liz is on the Zoom, by the way, and it's been a great team. We'll miss you for lots of reasons. And you're good at that. And making. Thank you. Guys, honestly, one thing that we have done as in these last 2 years is raise far more money than the PTA has been able to raise before. And the fundraising committee is responsible for that. And Tiffany's leadership of the fundraising committee has been just tremendous. So what you've done for the school has been amazing. Here, okay. Next item is LSAT. So the theme tonight is like how you can get more involved. And you've already heard about some of the opportunities. I want to plug that there are volunteer sign-up sheets right back there next to Courtney. Volunteer sign-up sheets, which you could start now, but really it's for next year. So that think now, you have a 5-month break before you actually have to do the volunteer thing you sign up for now. So don't feel stressed that this is going to start next week. No. We'll remind you when as the summer comes to an end that you signed up for this. And now is the time to start, getting active. So you can work it into your schedule. So one of the other leadership opportunities is to be a parent member of the LSAT, which stands for Local School Advisory Team. And they have actually, I'll let Melissa come up and tell you about the role. But I will say that we just held nominations for the 4 parent members. So the president of the PTA is automatically a member. And then the PTA gets to nominate 4 additional parent members to this team, which also includes teachers, administrators, and can include, I think, some other community members, but the principal selects the other members. So the PTA sends our president and 4 other parents. And we held nominations. We received 4 nominations for our 4 slots. 3 of them are serving again, and 1 is new, which is great. It's great to have a mix of new and old. So Becca Sangvi will be on the LSAT next year. Melissa Luce will be on the LSAT next year. Amelia Hogan will be on the LSAT next year, and Carmela Gonzalez will be the new parent on the LSAT next year. So thank you to the 4 of you parents. Yes, and helping manage some important stuff that Melissa will now tell you about what they do. Come on up. And don't forget to mention people can watch.
Oh, sure, okay. I'm sure there's an official description of what the LSAT does. So this is more of a personal experience, but I'm sure we can send around a link because every school has an LSAT. My experiences here on the LSAT has been wonderful. We meet mostly over Zoom at very early, around 7:30, for about 45 minutes where we talk about the business of the school. I think the official role of the LSAT has to do with the budget and overseeing that process, but obviously that is one moment in time that happens late in the winter, early spring, in February, March. And in advance of that, I think we serve as advisors to the school administration, and we can bring up other topics that are of interest. And we've gone through data and had other speakers come in. So it's a really good experience. Eliza asked me to remind folks that anybody from the school community can join and listen in at the beginning of an LSAT meeting. There are times where we have to go into, I think, more of a private session, but it's been a great experience, and I hope you've enjoyed it for future meetings. It's awesome. Go LSAT.
I'm am continuing to lead the meeting, with the president's blessing. So next, we're gonna talk about other ways to get involved. So I said there was sign-up sheets back there. Here's what they do. So Courtney, don't leave, you're first. There's a number of committee chairs present and some who sent me notes that I will read so that you can hear about what the committees do. And so you can think about whether you want to get involved. So Courtney, please go first. Tell us about your committee and how they can get involved.
Hello, everyone. I am Courtney Evers. I am the Teacher Appreciation Committee Chair. And what we do is appreciate teachers and staff at Barnard. As a past bear, it is always fulfilling to be able to pour into those that pour into our children every day. So we come up with fun ways to do that, whether it's thanks a latte, which was like our coffee treats and things like that, or the relaxation lounge where they were able to get 10 to 15-minute chair massages, whatever you need, we try to provide. And yeah, that's the Teacher Appreciation Committee. So come and join me. I have 1 more year, and then we'll be on to middle school as well. So I'm thankful for these ladies behind me and Melissa and Alyssa as well. She always shows up every morning, breaks down stuff, sets it up, serves, and I'm grateful for you all as well as a community. So thank you and join the Teacher Appreciation Committee. Yay!
Thank you. So I'll share a few more. Alyssa will go last because she's not here yet, but she's gonna come. So the committee I chair is family engagement. It's a little loosey-goosey. It's more like a collection of activities that happen throughout the year. For example, in the fall, our coat drive has leaders, and those leaders want included right here. You want to talk about the coat drive? Come on up. We're doing it. We also like hand out flyers as the PTA meetings approach, which Molly did yesterday. Thank you, Molly. We ensure there's interpretation at the PTA meetings. We do everything we can think of to just help make sure families stay engaged. We've organized as part of the sort of activities of this committee also the Know Your Rights on immigration training that the PTA hosted virtually at the beginning of this calendar year. So those are some things the Family Engagement Committee does. And if you have great ideas, that's all it takes. It's just like, you have an idea, let's do it. And I can provide you with some support, you know, on how to make sure it gets on the PTA calendar, how to recruit for volunteers, and then execute your idea. It's awesome. So come on up, Jenna, tell us about the coat drive.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm Jen. This year I helped out with leading this coat drive. We try to gather people who can donate coats and winter supplies for the students. So hat, gloves, socks, and coats. We had coats this year and hats and gloves for every kid on the.
So yesterday, me and my homegirl, we were chilling at the bar.
It had been unauthorized bake sale where we were able to raise money that we then put toward those coats, hats, and gloves. And it was a lot of fun and a lot of awesome. Yes, a lot of parents helped out. We did it in Sherman Circle 2 times in the fall. It was a lot of fun, and we were able to raise money for the coats.
Thanks.
Yeah, yay!
So you can sign up for Code Drive on the sheet that says like sort of special activities or on the Family Engagement Committee list. So please think of a committee that you'd like to be a part of for next year and sign up before you walk out tonight. Other special activities the Family Engagement Committee does is like Mr. Ryan Sherrill runs the AV at all of our meetings.
Do you wanna help
The Garden
line
Committee.
together?
The Garden Committee is the next committee I'm going to talk about. We'll need a new chair next year. Wassima Gary is going to step down as chair. I just found out from the meeting. Is going to step down as chair. The Garden Committee is also in big flux because our garden is currently gone. The only thing we have left are the little planter boxes outside the pre-K classrooms, which the teachers basically do on their own, although they can get some support from the committee. But so either the Garden Committee could go dormant next year, or if there's somebody who really loves to dream about gardens, you know, you could dream about gardens. You could write a grant so that you're all ready to go to rebuild the greenhouse when the space gets opened again, you know, things like that. So the Garden Committee could go to a planning year, or as sports teams call it, a rebuilding year. And if that sounds like fun to you, you really don't even have to get dirty if you don't like that part of gardening. then please sign up on the garden committee list and, or let us know. We'd love to have your input. Playground committee is, chaired by Rachel Redford. She can't be here tonight. And also for next year, what they do is pretty simple. In the past, they have locked and unlocked a gate, over by the old access. Next year, that job is basically not necessary because people on the weekends are coming in and out of the parking lot, the teacher parking lot. But the playground committee keeps the playground open to the community on the weekends, basically. And they take shifts, they sign up for shifts, they come and they look for litter and trash. If they see anything else like broken equipment or anything that comes, any safety issue that comes up over the weekend, they alert the school. Rachel Redford will continue to chair next year. So the ask here is just if you live close, and especially if your kids like to come to the playground on weekends, you're already here, then just please sign up so that you take a few shifts throughout the year to just check for trash when you're here and help be a part of that committee. It's a very straightforward, concrete volunteer job. It does not require that you think of big ideas, just that you show up and pick up some trash. That's it, except for the events committee. And when Alyssa gets here,
Good evening, everyone again. Can we possibly, so recently, we had a loss to the Barnard family. Ms. Henson, she was one of our CES teachers assistants. And she lost her battle to cancer like about a week ago. So we can possibly just take a moment of silence for her, please, for a moment. Thank you. No, there's so much going on, you all. Please pardon me. So in our upcoming announcements, tomorrow, the 21st, Wednesday at noon, tomorrow, May 21st at noon. If your applications have been fulfilled for re-enrollment, first time enrollment, tomorrow is the day. First come, first serve. The seats fill up fast. Please apply. If your application is completed with documents. Alrighty, also on our agenda, we have, there's no school on Monday due to Memorial Day observation. Next week, we will be having muffins with moms. So a lot of our events will look different this year due to construction, okay? So muffins with moms, you know, our hero for the dads or whoever fills the roles. It'll look different this year. It'll most likely be like a walk out, grab, and we'll do it that way because parking is really bad too as well. So that'll be on the 28th. We have Career Day on the 29th. Yes. Indeed. That was really fun last year. Everyone hung out for a long time, Fox 5, everyone, till like almost 4 o'clock. Also, so the groundbreaking has been rescheduled. It was supposed to be the same day, but it's not gonna be the 29th. So just to wait for another date for the groundbreaking. Alrighty. Bears on the Beach luau during recess. That looks a little different this year as well. That will be on the 30th. Caribbean Heritage Month celebration will be on June 6th. Community events upcoming. Bears represents Petworth Pride in the Park at Sherman Circle. That will be on June 14th. What time is it? Begins at 10 a.m. That's a whole lot of fun. Please come out and join us as Barnard represents, as we have before. The Strawberry Festival will be on June 14th as well at St. Paul's Rock Creek Church. That's a really fun event. Please come out if you can. And also, Mr. Weiner, please await for the announcement, but on June, pardon me, he just sent it to me. On June 5th, he will be having there will be a spring performance and a visual arts festival. Tennessee, so just to wait to see. That will be on June 5th from 6 until 7 p.m. I think that's all the upcoming announcements that we have. Any other announcements? Did you? Miss, come on. Okay. Come on up here.
Hello, I'm Ms. Greer, Jessica Greer here for after school. So after school registration for the 25-26 school year does open tomorrow. Your student has to be fully enrolled for next year in order to complete the after school application. So let's say if maybe you just turned in a document that completed your enrollment today, that may not be fully in the system by tomorrow. I just wanted to put that out there. After school does generally fill up within the first couple of days, so it opens tomorrow at 12. If you're fully enrolled, try to go ahead and get it in if you need after school or after school for next year. And yeah, if you have any questions, there is a how-to sheet that's out by the side door, and I'll post it on Dojo today. Yeah, hopefully you get in if you need after school, but it does fill up fairly quickly.
We got a confirmation email. Does that mean we're enrolled?
Yes, good question. You should
If you
receive a
didn't-
confirmation or a waitlist email, either one. Check your spam if you don't get it, but either way, because that's the only way that we can honor anything. So sometimes people will say, I received a confirmation email, but they may not be on our list. We'll say, show me your email and we'll honor it. Even, we'll make a way to make it work. So yes, you should receive and start and save that email.
Okay, and also, if we got a confirmation email about enrollment at Barnard, does that mean the right paperwork is in to be able to sign up for after?
Yeah,
That's the.
I didn't even know that happened,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So if you got a confirmation email, everything is in and the
Then you
system
can get it.
system has you as.
Got it.
I have two, and I only got a confirmation email for one of them. Should I?
Who's your other student? Like, who's the student you didn't get what grade are
I
they?
have Adam and Nathan, they're.
Oh,
Yeah.
Miss Fletcher, we have a question about enrollment.
I can talk to Adam.
They should receive, if they have more than one child, they should receive a confirmation email for each enrollment form they completed. And the confirmation email, does that confirm that everything is submitted, they are fully enrolled? Okay, so yeah, you can follow up about the one you did not receive an email for. Great questions. Any other question? Right. Thank you for your time.
The count. I think that might be a glitch with multiple, because I had out of my triplets, only two of them, I got the application as enrolled students. And Jonna came as a new student. So maybe some kind of glitch with multiple, maybe. All right, Alyssa, I know you just came in. Would you like to share with us?
Okay, so stand right in front of the podium. Okay, camera. Hello, everyone. My name is Alyssa Michelson. I have a third grader and a pre-K4 student, and I help facilitate the room parents, which are parent volunteers. Ideally, our goal is to have one for each class. We have really good coverage for the lower grades through like first grade, and then had sporadic coverage second and up. So our goal is for next year definitely to ideally have a room parent for each class. Each teacher is really clear with us about like what they need. Some teachers are like, I've got everything under control, and you're kind of just like, if they need anything, you're there. And other teachers, especially in the younger grades, they use the room parents kind of as a centralized communication. So like an example is in my daughter's pre-K4 class, the teacher was throwing a 100 days party, and rather than her having to manage each of those mini supplies she needed, she told the room parent sent out a message to the whole class, and parents were able to work with her. So it just takes something off the teacher, helps support them throughout the year. It's a great way to volunteer that's kind of low stake. Most teachers were really just there to support them. They don't ask a ton of us in terms of like, you don't need to come in weekly to volunteer or anything. You're really just like kind of a liaison between the parents and the teacher. And a goal for next year that I would love any feedback on, if anyone has support, is just ways to get like all of the class on a listserv for each classroom. So I know that's a lot of the classes, the room parent really only ever heard from like
3 or 4 parents throughout the year, which is great, but, and I know everyone's very busy, but would love to have a way that each class can kind of have a form of communication, so that if they want to have a play date together, if they're not sure if an assignment was due the next day, they can communicate with each other rather than necessarily going straight to the teacher. So if anyone would like to either be a room parent next year or would like to help facilitate them, I would love any help, any feedback on what went well this year, what we could change or improve for next year. Are there any questions just about the room parents in general? Yeah.
¿Para qué nos toca?
Is around translation.
Yes,
And making sure that everybody is able to receive the information in all of the languages.
yes,
When it's the school prepared flyer, that's easier to do.
yes.
But I think, one thing we did in my pre-K 3 child class, which had a lot of parents on our WhatsApp group that we created, someone was a designated translator.
Oh, that's
And,
nice.
but you know, WhatsApp doesn't have auto translation necessarily, so
Yeah.
just thinking through that as one of the dynamics.
No, that
to
was
factor
definitely one of the
for.
hurdles, and that was why last year, in the previous school year, we did email communication. This year we switched to text because I thought text might be easier for people to translate it easier.
Yeah.
But we still had that limitation. So that's a great idea to see if there's like a volunteer from each room that can kind of be like, and I'll get more from you about like how they went about that. Cause I did our room, like my daughter's pre-K 4 room parent did send, anytime she sent a message, she sent it in English and Spanish.
Yeah.
But I know that doesn't represent all the languages in the classroom either.
And it gets messy if it's every single message.
Of course,
So just something to name as to discuss.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to ask, our room parent kind of went MIA, so
Okay.
I kind of stepped in,
Okay.
but, our teacher didn't have or didn't want to give me the list of everyone's phone numbers.
yeah, they're not allowed to give out information. So that's why like at the beginning of the year, what I did was I had the room parent either flyer the classroom or like literally wait at doors.
Our room parent didn't have anyone's
Okay.
information.
Yeah.
So
that's
as it stands, I mean, it's the end of the year, but we have like 5 people's information.
Yeah, and that is a limitation. Teachers are not allowed to give out personal information. So the only way we can get contact information is if the parents like opt in. Yeah, Ms. Greer.
Yeah, I would say, previous year, one thing that my room parents drafted a message for me to post on Class Dojo.
Yes.
Like, hey, if you want to meet with this.
Yes.
Text this number.
Yes.
So it's like they had to opt in, but they.
Once they
pretty much
got
everybody
that.
opted in once they got it.
Okay, so we'll
So
definitely,
I posted on Class Dojo, parents texted the chat.
perfect.
They wanted to see.
Okay, so we'll definitely make a note for that last year. I think some room parents did that, but I don't know if it was consistent for all of them. So we'll definitely make sure we do that next
I
year.
think our teacher did that, and I guess no one wanted to opt in.
Yeah, and that just, that
Yeah.
just will happen too. Okay, but I'll be in touch like end of summer, early fall at the start of the school year so that we can make sure we're supporting teachers as best as we can next year too.
But if you want to help do the coordination,
Yeah.
especially sign up on the volunteers.
Back there.
Because Alyssa's been doing this for a little while. She has great experience and she's ready to train someone else to help lead that activity.
Yes.
Thank you,
very
Erica.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, so much for joining with us. Now, we're not done yet. This won't be a long meeting, but we are going to take 10 minutes and we're going to have a breakout session. Okay. What is the purpose of the breakout session? We want to get your feedback on PTA. Because frankly, we do have one more PTA meeting of the year scheduled, but it's in like the last 3 days of school and it's a party. And it's gonna be a party. We're not gonna sit around and do business stuff. So so this is the business, this is actually the annual business meeting. That's why we did officer elections and things. So business, okay. We want to ask you guys, and guess what? You're already in your breakout groups. 1, 2, 3. And online is its own breakout group, which will be facilitated by Secretary Liz Langton. We planned this in advance. So each of the 3 of us will facilitate one of these groups. And we're going to ask you, which we have on our agendas, 3 questions. What has gone well this year in terms of how the family community has been able to support the school and vice versa? what could go even better next year? And where would you like to get involved next year? So those are the 3 questions. Again, your facilitators each have these questions, so we'll remind you. And we're just gonna take 10 minutes, get it all out there. Tell us what you've loved, tell us what you think could be better, and tell us where your skills and strengths and desires lie. Even if you've had that opportunity today, or even if you haven't. If you have some idea that you're like, this would be awesome and I think I could do it, great. Let's make sure we take a note on that. We'll remind you in August. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Let's each pick one.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 minutes.